Let's go. Let's break down some of the film from the Florida State offense in their onslaught versus Duquesne. And I think I am pronouncing this correctly. So we pick it up here, and I want to focus on this drive because this is where I felt Duquesne actually started doing some things correctly defensively, and I also started seeing Jordan Travis do some high-level stuff, such as this right here, okay? So what they're doing is something called an RPO. You hear it all the time, and sometimes with RPOs, it's just an automatic pull and throw, but I feel as if this is a true RPO, and what that means is a run past option. So this quarterback right here, Jordan Travis, is reading this safety. If this safety crashes down into the box, he is throwing it. If this safety decides to stay back, he is handing this football off. And up to this point in the game, Florida State had been running the football right down their throats, and this is actually really, really good quarterback play right here by Jordan Travis. Gets a snap a little to the left of him. He sees that this safety is fully committed, so now he's got to make a really good throw over the top of that safety, right in stride to the wide receiver, and he delivers it. And they are moving the football down the field. So we get to this next play, and look, the reason why that RPO is big is because you notice there's no safety crashing down on this play, and what they are doing is running their bread and butter play, which to me is counter. We're pulling this left guard to the right side, and we're also pulling the tight end around as well, okay? So, get a good snap. And let's see how this is played. And you'll see right here that we actually miss a tackle. And watch this. That's just a nasty shake to that linebacker. So Florida State historically has had some shoddy offensive line play. I remember the year after Jameis won the title, their offensive line just disintegrated, and it's been a big issue at Florida State, and a big reason why is all the injuries. Their center was actually out of this game, I believe, after the first drive. So what they decide to do, Duquesne, is run a twist. So this defensive tackle goes here, and this defensive end goes around here. So they are twisting per se, and you'll see, sometimes on twist, the run, your run gap, your rush lanes, the gaps that you're responsible for in the running game can really get out of sync. But this time, number 7 actually is right here ready to make this play. Okay, so we call it twist stunt, and it works to perfection, and he just misses a tackle right there. I think B.J. OJULARI is making this play right here. And then we have the safety stepping up in the hole, and because 7 really didn't do a good job of holding him out at all, they're able to miss a tackle. So really good play right there by Toafili, the running back right there. But now we move on to the next play. The twist stunt works, and I want you to remember that here in just a second. So on the 2nd and 1, this time they bring a 5th guy to the line of scrimmage, but you see it is just off coverage, right? This is as soft a coverage as you're going to see, and this is something I hope LSU doesn't decide to do, which is bring a 5th guy to the line of scrimmage. I really don't like when teams do that, and it's because it just leaves space open if you're able to break this line right here, and that is exactly what happens. But this time Jordan Travis pulls it, okay? So you have all these guys to the line of scrimmage fully committed to this run, and Travis notices this, okay? He's reading, he sees this defensive end. I'm doing this after a 2-hour live stream. But this defensive end does something called a wrong arm technique. That's what Duquesne decided to do, which means you're playing the inside shoulder of the puller, and you're forcing this play to bounce. Okay? And you see, this is just a lot easier for Jordan Travis to look. Hey, if I'm able to break this line of 5, all I have to do is just race to the outside here, and that is exactly what happens. Okay, so all he has to do is break this contained defender. I have no idea why this linebacker just ran into this lineman instead of getting flat to try and make this play. But this is really good stuff, and this is actually what Denbrock's going to try and do with Jaden Daniels as well. So Good tackle right there by the safety. Boom, I'm looking at you. Yes, you. I'm glad you have already subscribed to the channel, and I hope you have rang the bell on our Patreon service. You could be a part of our PHL Fantasy Football League, where I'm giving away one of my favorite Tyrann Mathieu rookie cards right here, autographed, numbered to 50. You get to see a lot of extra film studies, including one I did on Kobe Richardson recently. So once again, it's the same thing. We are playing way off these wide receivers. This is almost just too conservative, but you know what they're saying is, look, we don't want to get beat deep. And guess what? They could just play pitch and catch right here all day, but the run game was working so well. Why don't we go back to once again pulling our guards? Not quite counter, okay? But this time we are RPOing again. And remember what happened on the first RPO? Jordan Travis saw that this safety came all the way down, and even though they're playing off, that's actually good for us because all we're doing is just running digs into the space where the safety left. And because that safety came up to defend the run, all we got to do is play pitch and catch right there, and we are moving the football. Good open field tackle. I kind of like this number 5 guy for Florida State, Span or Van. I don't remember his last name. He's got a little bite to him. I like that ferociousness. Be ready, DBU. Got to guard that guy. So now we get here, and I understand what Duquesne's trying to do. They're trying to get very exotic with their front, and it doesn't work, okay? They kind of run themselves out of this play right here, and 77 just punishes this defensive tackle. That is just vicious. Tight end, we need you to make this one block right here. He trips and actually whiffs his block, but he was able to get enough of a piece. And once again, this is our running backs. This was their best back yesterday. Spin move, juke move. You got to be able to tackle these guys to the ground, okay? And once again, we still don't have him down. So this right here was some really good defense by Duquesne, and it's honestly going to be the big question that Matt House and Jamar Cain are going to have to do or ask themselves this week is, do we want to wrong arm our pullers, right? And what that essentially means is when a player pulls to kick out the contained defender, do we want to attack his inside shoulder, or do we want to attack him head up, or do we want to attack his outside shoulder? And the reason why it's important to know is because it determines how you want to fit the run versus pullers, okay? So what Duquesne decided to do was go to the inside shoulder of the pullers and do something called killing and spilling, okay? So what that means is you kill right here and you're spilling this run to the outside, and we are trusting these backers to get over the top, scrape over the top, and hold the contain, right? So we do a really good job right here of killing this right here. Number 7, Rip moves underneath, and he has got this B gap occupied, and because he did such a great job of it, he actually slowed down the puller from this side, the other puller, the right tackle here. And you notice, because 79 paused right here, this forced this running back to flatten, okay? So now number 7's done his job. We need 42 to get off this block and come up here and make this play. But something else happened. Micah Pittman, the slot receiver, did a horrible job blocking his player. So we get an extra contained defender right in here to get dirty and blow this up. This puller got slowed down. The backside defensive end was able to catch this play from the backside as well. This is just great hustle right here by Duquesne. Yes, they fall forward for a few extra yards, which isn't good. Trayshawn Ward's a good back. You don't want that to happen. But fitting right there was actually good. Okay, this is more good defense right here by Duquesne, and hopefully LSU can learn something from this as well. Okay, we get some excellent pressure. I felt as if the edge players, the wide receivers and the tight ends for Florida State, weren't great blockers. So now you get the end zone angle here, and if you're the safety, you really do think this is a run, okay? They're in something called 12 personnel, okay? 2 tight ends, 1 running back, 2 receivers to the outside. So this is a pretty heavy formation, and I would, if I was a defender, be thinking that this is going to be a run, especially after they pull this guard. But because this edge player got such great pressure coming off the edge right here, okay, and this wouldn't be BJ, this would be just your normal linebacker, that's excellent. Excellent stuff. Just blowing this up right off the jump here, okay? Then, this was a good job by this end to take on this puller right here. And look at this. Boom, okay? He wins that rep. And because we got good pressure coming in from right there, this whole play is blown up. Good stuff right there. So now we get the second down play, and I want you to notice, I kind of like that this camera angle is like cut off. Watch Jordan Travis's eyes. He is staring down this receiver the entire time. He's not looking anywhere else, and he is predetermined he is going to fit this football in this window. It actually is a really good throw right there, and you're able to cut the second and goal yardage. So you had the penalty, and then you had the sack right there, and that was a really good job. But if you were to look at this, so Jordan Travis does have a tendency to lock on to his receivers. Watch this. Bam. Walk-in touchdown. Right there. Okay? Instead, he forces his football over the middle, and it's a good completion right there. But this is there, okay? This is a tight end out and up, okay? So it's a double move, so it takes a little bit longer to develop, all right? This is actually not really that difficult of a read right here. He sees that the corner is running. All you have to do is read this corner. If this corner is running with the receiver, that should be an automatic read right here that this tight end is going to be open, okay? And what you can do is fake like you're throwing it over the middle and then work right here, okay? But he locked onto his receiver, and it cost him 7 points in the extended red zone right there. Protection right there was really good. It's still a good throw, but he locked in, and he missed out on a big opportunity right there. Right here, this is just some excellent defense. And I want to bring back something that we brought up earlier in the drive, okay? I think Florida State's offensive line is very beatable. You just have to be careful when they run counter, but this is where I think LSU's defensive line is going to eat. And if I'm Matt House, I would be very hesitant to bring blitzes and just allow my front four to try and go out there and win the game with us, or win the game for us on their own. And the guy that I want to single out here is BJ OJULARI, okay? So this is what happens here. Remember earlier we were bringing up the twist stunt where the defensive end goes inside and the defensive tackle goes outside? Well, earlier the defensive end actually went around the DT and the DT went through. This time, we're doing the opposite, okay? The end is going first, and the defensive tackle is looping around, okay? And watch what happens here, okay? Tackle whiffs number 7. Remember he wrong-armed a minute ago? This time, this is what's called a rip move. He rips that arm right underneath right there, and look at all this pressure. Okay, and once again, it's Jordan Travis just locking in on a matchup right here, and it's covered. I mean, this is covered, okay? And there's just nowhere to throw this football. We want him making throws like that. And that's just really good defense. So if I'm LSU, I see that the twist stunts work, and I see that Jordan Travis can lock in on his receiver. Now, this was just one drive. I thought Travis actually was really good in this game. But for the most part, that was a very good defensive series. We were able to get some pressure. And, you know, it wasn't as bad as some of the other missed tackles. So I hope you enjoyed this. This is just, you know, sometimes these film studies can go longer. I just wanted to focus in on this drive right here. But yeah, Florida State looks like a really impressive team. I do see some strengths. I do see some weaknesses. We'll touch on their defense hopefully a little bit later in the week. I think number 10 for them is a really good player, right? They put him everywhere, and he's really good in that secondary. So So yeah, comment down below. Do you actually feel encouraged, discouraged from what you saw today? Are there any concerns that you might have with LSU going into this game versus Florida State? Let me know in the comments section below, baby. In it! Power Hour LSU. Boom! And tonight, I'm kind of feeling some lasagna. Let's go.